Today, instead of going over the typical best ways to make money in any given week in GTA Online, I decided to focus on what is by far the best money bonus that we have gotten, probably since the yacht missions went on 5 times money back in December of 2025, just before the Mansions DLC came out. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make upwards of $1,600,000 per hour using the hands-on car wash this week in GTA Online. If you enjoy or find this one useful, drop a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. And let's go ahead and get started. So to begin doing this, you will need to own a hands-on car wash this week in GTA Online. And if you don't have one yet, they are 40% off this week, luckily. So if you need the money to get one in the first place, I would recommend rinsing and repeating the Lamar contact missions, which are on 5 times money and RP this week. That's going to be a pretty good way to earn, especially if you're a lower level player. You're going to need to save up roughly $600,000 to purchase the car wash. Now, once you have it, you will have to go through a cutscene if you've never owned it before, where you are introduced to Mr. Faber, who is very likely going to be the main villain in the next and probably final GTA Online DLC. At least that's what it seems like. If you want to know more about this, I'll link my in-depth video on Mr. Faber in the description down below. But once you've got your car wash set up, we're going to be focusing on the money laundering jobs to make money. And these are on 4 times money this week. Now, they typically pay $35,000 per mission you complete, but this week that is going to be $140,000 per mission, which is crazy good money, especially considering most of these missions take less than 5 minutes each. Now, to start these missions, you can go to the computer inside the hands-on car wash, but to save time, you can also call RAF on your phone from wherever you like out in free mode and begin missions this way. Now, this is significantly faster, and I recommend always calling RAF instead of actually starting the missions from the computer because it is so much more efficient. There are 4 total money laundering mission types that you can get, 3 of which are actually good. Now, the one you're going to want to avoid is the stockade mission. Now, this one takes on average about 3 to 4 minutes longer than the other 3, meaning you can do less of these missions per hour. So it really tanks how much productivity you can have on a per hour basis. Plus, the missions themselves are a little bit tedious, so I do recommend skipping these. However, there are a couple of things to note about this. Now, you're only going to find out if you've got a stockade mission once you've actually started a money laundering mission because of Raf's voice lines. He's going to mention the stockade within the first couple sentences, and when you hear that, you're going to want to switch sessions. However, switching sessions will gain you 5% heat in your car wash every single time you do this. So once your heat is maxed out, you will have to do a car wash customer delivery mission to decrease your heat back down to 0. Now, something to consider with the stockade missions is that for everyone that you skip, you are still gaining heat and not getting any money by session hopping to skip the mission. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that because it will mean you are going to have to do a car wash mission sooner to reduce the heat. So be warned. Now, the other consideration to make is that when you session hop, sometimes the payment for the last mission that you completed doesn't always go through because the game doesn't have time to save what you did before you left. So I recommend changing outfits before swapping sessions, ideally, to try to force the game to update and save your progress. Now, this isn't a proven fix. This is just something that I've heard helps, and it's helped me in the past. So maybe switch to a different saved outfit before you switch sessions, just to try to make sure that your last mission's money is actually going to end up in the duffel bag. Now, I'm going to break down the other 3 missions and how to do them very quickly, because I'm assuming, like myself, you are still going to skip the stockade missions and try to do the other 3 repeatedly because that's just the most efficient way to do it, obviously. Now, the first mission we're going to talk about are the ones where you're going to go and get the car out of the shipping container at the docks. Now, one of these is going to spawn at Elysian Island, one is going to spawn at the actual Los Santos docks. For this mission, the crate that the car is in is always going to be near the actual enemies that are on foot. However, there are several things that you will be able to lock onto nearby and in the general area of the actual crate. Most of these are going to be trucks that are unmanned, they have nobody in them, and there's no reason to even shoot them. But where the actual crate is where there are going to be people on foot who are going to attack you, who are going to shoot at you. You got to take those guys out. The car is also always going to be in the crate that says Alpha Male on the side of it. Now, every other crate is not going to say this, and these Alpha Male crates can be red, they can be blue, they might even be able to be other colors as well. So just be aware that it's always going to be in the crate that says alpha male. Now once you get the car out by shooting the lock, get in it and take it to your salvage yard if you own one. Otherwise you're going to have to take it to How, which is going to be a further drop off point every time. So I always recommend taking it to the salvage yard. Now hopefully if you have a salvage yard, it's the Strawberry location, because that one is directly across the street from the hands-on car wash, meaning you can deliver the car there and then simply run the money across the street to the car wash and the mission is done. Now the two other missions involve taking out rival operations. The next one we're going to be talking about is the Molotov mission, where you're going to go and burn stacks of cash at enemy locations. Now for this you specifically need to use Molotovs. You can't use another type of explosive to blow up the cash. It has to be Molotovs. Now, luckily with these missions, there will always be some stashed nearby where you can stock up in case you don't have any. Some of these missions have more cash outside, some have more cash inside. Now, once you start burning the cash on the exterior and take out all the enemies, I like to go and stand at the entrance so that I instantly load into the building as soon as the cash outside has burned. Now, once inside, I typically use the grenade launcher or an assault rifle to clear out the targets, and then burn the cash from the furthest in to out. Once all the cash is set on fire, I stand at the door on the inside and instantly get sent out as soon as the last cash has burned. Now once you get outside, a van is going to spawn nearby taking away a shipment of cash. You're going to have to blow this up and then you simply leave, and that is the mission completed. But the final mission we're going to talk about is the one where you're actually going to steal the cash from the rival operation before destroying it afterwards. For this one, there will be an Albany Emperor nearby that you're going to be taking equipment out of, and then you're going to go to a nearby operation. Take out the guards outside. There's going to be 3 more targets inside. Once you've taken them out, you're going to start loading up the cash from the laundry machines. Now, once you've gone through all 3 machines, you're going to be prompted to place 2 explosives before leaving, and then you're going to need to escape and lose the cops before delivering the stolen cash back to the hands-on car wash. So for this mission, I recommend getting to a rooftop somewhere near the car wash so that you're not abhorrently far away and you're gonna have to fly for another minute or so to get back to the car wash. You might as well land on a close by rooftop where the cops aren't gonna get you and that you can quickly get to the car wash from. Now as far as getting paid for these missions, they actually put the cash inside a duffel bag like I mentioned before, and it's gonna be in the bedroom within the car wash itself. Now I typically will go and collect this every once in a while just before it hits $1 million when I'm grinding these missions, but I don't really make it a huge priority because nothing bad is going to happen by just leaving all the money in there. Now, once you've done several missions, your heat in the car wash is inevitably going to rise, and you will have to go and do a customer car wash. These take a little to no time and can also be requested by calling RAF, which is how I would always recommend you to start them again. Some are going to spawn in the hills, one is going to spawn by Vespucci Beach, and the other one is going to spawn on the east side of the map as well, near Lester's house if you guys are familiar with that location. Now, in just 1 hour and 6 minutes of total time in game, I managed to do 2 customer car washes to reduce the heat in my hands-on car wash, while I also completed 12 money laundering missions. But I had to switch sessions 7 times to avoid the stockade mission, but I made $1,680,000 in that 1 hour and 6 minutes. Now, depending on your luck with getting the stockade mission, you can definitely make more than this per hour. You could also probably make a little bit less. But also, once you're used to doing the missions, you can become faster as well. Overall, this is definitely going to be a great way to print money this week ahead of the next GTA Online DLC, which is expected to come out sometime in June or maybe early July. So I really hope you all take advantage of this bonus while you can and make a ton of money. If you enjoyed the video, or you learned something, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you guys are new. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.